Hey everyone, I'm filming my new stand-up special in Milwaukee at the Riverside Theater on November 14th and 15th. Tickets are available in Milwaukee for the November 14th show only. Get your tickets now at tomsegura.com/tour.
100%. Cheers.
All right, welcome to another episode of Two Bears, One Cave. I've never seen somebody that is the opposite of the usual person that sits in this chair. We're going from grotesque, visually impaired looking human, somebody that is offensive to the eyes, to an absolute pleasure. A gentleman, a legend. Give it up for The Undertaker, everybody. Let him hear it. And don't forget that Wrestlemania takes place Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th, 2026 in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and tickets are available now.
Damn, you're pretty good at this, bro.
I mean, done a few thousand of them.
A few thousand of them?
Yeah. That's pretty cool that Allegiant Stadium is going to... It's so wild having watched the evolution of Wrestlemania. Mm-hmm. And I was watching one of the docs about like the first time that I think Vince was like, I think we can do a stadium, and people were like, a stadium? What are you, crazy? Yeah. And then I think it was in New York, right? It was a giant stadium.
So the first stadium show, I believe, was the old the one in Detroit, not the one with the Skydome. No, that's Toronto, isn't it? Skydome.
Yeah, I think you're right. But is it where the Lions used to play?
Yeah. They've got a new stadium now, but. This is kind of wrestling history. I should know this. But, it was, 80, 90,000. It was ridiculous. Yeah. And they filled that thing up. And
that must have been like eye-opening to everybody. Like, oh, shit, we can actually do this?
Yeah. And they did that one, and then we still went back and did a few arena shows. Like my first Mania was at the old sports arena in L.A., so
down down the Forum, down there.
Not the Forum. It
was called the
sports arena. I think that's where the Clippers originally played.
Okay,
and we couldn't even handle the Forum at the point. At that point.
Well, you're part of the group of people that helped obviously transcend like the lines of popularity and the reach of this sport. I mean, you started when it was still...
Yeah, I mean, we had already had a really, really good run. Like that Hulk Hogan run at the late 80s was just, that's what took it, I think, to...
New heights, for sure.
To new heights where it just wasn't that old carnival atmosphere.
But your early days were some of like smaller like venues. Because one of the things, like when we met, for people, I've said this before, but for people that don't know, the way we met, it always makes me laugh because I was having a home gym put together and I was ordering equipment and I was talking to this guy who was doing it for me. And I said, I want a piece of equipment that another company makes. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that's fine. But he goes, we make something similar.
Right.
And I said, well, I'd like to say yes, but in order for me to feel comfortable, I'd really like to try it before
Which is smart with gym equipment.
With gym equipment.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I have a client in the area and he would let you try it. And I go, okay. And then he just sends me a group text. Hey, Mark, this is Tom. He'd like to try it. And you're like, sure. And then he sends me a text separate. He goes, Mark is the Undertaker. I go, you want to fucking lead with that, dude? Then I'm texting the Undertaker. He was like, sorry. So I think that was Dustin, maybe? Was that
Dustin Riddle, I believe.
Great guy. And by the way, they do great work.
They do really do.
People. Yeah. So I went over to your house, your under construction house, but your gym was done.
The gym was,
Gym was the priority. You could tell as an athlete, gym is first, which was incredible. And we tried the equipment. It was great. But when we were talking, one of the things that like stood out to me was there's like so many similarities about the grind of the early days for a wrestler and a comedian.
Right.
Because we were talking about like doing doubles
Yeah.
And how you hit an age basically where you're like, I don't want to do fucking 2 of these, man.
Yeah.
Like, and also the incessant nonstop traveling. It's just like, it's a very, minus the physical aspect, obviously, but that lifestyle feels very like parallel, you know?
Yeah, it is really similar. And I didn't, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I would come home and, cause you think I've been on the road now, I've been on the road for months and
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to get home, but then you're home for a couple of weeks and then you're just like,
Yeah.
I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go again.
I got to go to which, and also to my wife will be like, can't wait for you to get home. And then on those weeks, she's like, it'd be nice if you had some dates, maybe go out on the road.
Yeah, exactly. It was tough.
Yeah.
Because you spend all that time with a certain group of people.
Yeah.
And you have a certain way of doing things. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
Correlate
to home,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a whole different mindset and atmosphere. And at that point, and as you're coming up the ladder, I mean, it's all about that grind and wanting to be better and get better and work on the overall product. And it was, it would drive me nuts when I went home.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely. I mean, it is an adjustment to home life and road life. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, people when they go like, "How do you do like the road life?" You're like, "Well, I've been doing it so long that's normal to me." It's
you don't
normal.
even think about it, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you travel, right?
Yeah.
You're so set and your rhythm.
Yeah.
Like when you bring your family sometimes.
Yeah.
This is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is the way we do this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is weird.
And it's a completely, you have to take yourself out of that
that mentality.
Work mode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, because I feel like, I mean, this goes for a lot of career choices, but like I'll just say like the audacity to say, I want to be a wrestler. It's it's a crazy, obviously lifestyle, but I mean, you're a big guy, you're an athletic guy. Did you always have your eye on wrestling?
No, it happened. It happened really by chance. I was in college. I was playing basketball,
Right.
and I started to get some inquiries. Or my coach did. Obviously, they weren't allowed to talk to me, but my coach was like, "Hey, you're starting to get a lot of interest with some European pro teams for tryouts."
Yeah.
And I didn't have NBA talent. I was never going to be an NBA player.
But you loved basketball.
At the time, yes.
Yeah.
Basketball, I dedicated, like from the time I started playing at 12 to my junior year in college. I mean, that's everything revolved around basketball. So, I go to between my junior and senior year of college, like they said, kind of what the feedback is, they wanted to get me a little thicker, a little stronger for the style that they played over there. So, I'm doing my summer leagues and everything else, and I'm really hitting the gym hard, trying to put on another 10 or 15 pounds of muscle and, trying to make myself as, I guess, as appealing to a team as possible. And so I'm going to this gym every day, and there was another guy that he actually worked at the gym. He's a couple years younger than I was, and we kind of struck up a friendship. And he was like, "Hey, man," he goes, I'm going to go to this wrestling camp. I want to be a professional wrestler. He says, you should do that with me.
Just like that.
Just like that. And at first I was like, no, I think I'm going to go try and play some pro ball overseas. That's kind of where I think I'm going. Now, that being said, I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid.
You were?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as I got into, I boxed a little bit and got into team sports and everything else, I kind of moved away from it. So I'm a little removed from it. But he comes in every day. Every day I come in the gym. He goes, "Come on, man, you ought to do this camp with me." And I'm like, nah. One thing I've always been is kind of a realist.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know what my abilities are, what my abilities aren't, and I look at things, in a pretty reasonable fashion, I think. So I kind of start thinking about it. I'm like, do I really want to go to Lithuania and be the 12th guy on the bench? And and now I'm back watching the product again. And the one thing that I notice is there aren't a lot of athletic big guys.
Yeah.
Like at that time period, now we're talking the late 80s here, like all the really big guys are big guys that don't move around a lot. So now I'm kind of catching up with the product, and now the thoughts in my head, and
Like I could be something.
I'm just kind of looking at the overall thing, and I'm like, what do I have? 2-3 years if I make a team,
Yeah.
what do I have really, and or, is this something that so I end up going to the camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I started, man, I fell in love with it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning, I got screwed over by the guy that the guy that he was going to have train us, screwed me over, took my money, left town. But I got enough from him that it really sparked something. And then, now I'm training to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing. This is all in the summer. Now I'm still doing my basketball because I still got another year of college left.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like workout, play basketball, train to wrestle every day. It's just And
is your mind starting to go look more at wrestling? You're thinking about it all day.
Yeah. So I went I think I left the end of my junior year. I was maybe 240.
Mm-hmm.
I show up my senior year in college. I'm 280 pounds.
Damn.
That's what my coach said. He looked at me and was like, and he was old. I mean, he was one of those old school coaches that didn't, he couldn't, he equated size with being slow. And, and although I was faster, quicker, jump higher,
stronger, obviously.
Much stronger.
Yeah.
And, he banned me from the weight room right away. And
really?
All this stuff. And it all happened one day at practice.
Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, that meant they didn't last. And if they lasted, well, they wrecked your feet. Let me introduce you to Brunt. Brunt Workwear finally ended that trade-off, designing boots that withstand the toughest job sites while making your feet feel as comfortable as sneakers. These things are awesome. Eric Garrard grew up blue collar. He's their founder, and he started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to start a workwear brand that was built for them. That's why all the Brunt products are named after the dudes he grew up with. These might be, and I'm going to talk specifically about these because they slide on my feet, the most comfortable work boots on the planet. I wear them just around the house. They're like Uggs. They are so comfortable, but they deliver the real performance on the job. Whether you need waterproofing or a safety toe or a soft toe, pull on, lace up, they've got you covered. They're so confident these boots are going to blow you away. They even let you try them on the job for risk-free. And I'm telling you, these are the Marin. No, these are the Marins. Let me tell you, these are the Marins, and they are soft toe, and they are, I swear to God, they are like socks. These Brunt boots feel comfortable right out of the box. Most other boots you got to break in, and it's going to take a while. Not these. I put these on the day I got them, and I just wore them around without socks, and I felt like I was standing on clouds. Brunt was tired of workwear brands out there cutting corners. They work too hard, and you work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use code CAVE at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com, use code CAVE, and you're good to go. And after the order, they're going to say, hey, where did you hear about Brunt? Do us a favor and tell them that it was our show that sent you.
For most of us, the change in season means shorter days, busier schedules, and less time to cook. That's why I love Factor and their recipes that make eating clean a no-brainer. They bring chef-prepped, dietitian-approved meals to the table that make it easy to stay on track while also having something delicious. Choose from an expansive catalog of meal options, which include Mediterranean diet options, GLP-1 friendly choices, and premium seafood picks like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. For the first time, you can try their Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. I'm telling you, these are delicious, they're easy to prepare, and they're healthy and good for you. You'll feel good after eating this way. Eat smart at factormeals.com/bears50off and use the code bears50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code bears50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor, Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Early on in the school year, we're doing some drills, and we're doing this drill where he throws the ball up, two guys, kind of like a tip ball deal, and then it's a hustle drill, right? You have to tip it and then go get possession of the ball. Well, all these basketball players are, they're 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", but they maybe 180, 190. I mean, they're just
super
all really
lean dudes,
thin, lean dudes, and they were all scared to death of me.
Yeah.
I mean, there just wasn't. We're talking 87.
Yeah.
There's not 200, 6'8", 280
80 pound dudes now.
Yeah, and they're all terrified of me, and so we're doing this drill, and coach throws this ball up, and this guy, instead of even trying, he undercuts me.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. And we both come tumbling down, right? And now I'm already in wrestling psycho mode, right? So I jump up, really quick, and I step on him. I step on his chest, and I was like, "Listen, motherfucker, you ever cut me like that again, I'll break your, effing neck." Calloway, get out of here! That ain't the way we do. And and it was at that moment, I was like,
I'm a wrestler, dude.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And he's like, you remember, Charlie Brown, where the teachers, that's all. Like he's constantly screaming at me, and I'm having this moment. And then it's like, this is it, man. So I went to each guy. Everybody's lined up in this drill, right? So I go to each guy. I was like, man, I'm sorry. I hate to do this, but I'm out. And I went to each guy, apologized to each guy for bailing on the team, but I knew it was done. And
did you drop out of school right then too?
For whatever reason, I tried to keep going to school for a while, but it was just like every day it was just be like, what else can I do to get better at this? And eventually, I eventually just stopped. I think I needed maybe 15 hours. Of school left. And
where were you in school at the time?
I was in Fort Worth, Texas Wesleyan University.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then it was just like
all in,
and everybody is like, "Are you stupid?"
Now, did you have, because one of the things about pro wrestlers is like, there's the athletic component, like how this person moves and how they're able to like put on the show that is the fight, but then there's like the actual, I'll say like the acting,
the personality,
and like you shine in both, but I feel like you're such a natural performer, like on top of the athletic stuff, the actual performance of the persona.
Yeah.
Was that like I would tell a casting director, like, this guy can act, like you can act. Was that like natural to you?
No.
So you worked a lot at that too.
Yeah, I had to. And my character, like, not initially, like the first few years, not before I become Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like, that was the part that was actually behind, is being able to market myself and make myself interesting. Because I think initially when you get into wrestling, everything is focused on the actual wrestling.
The physical stuff.
The physical side of it, right? Learning learning how to protect yourself and how to do moves and to move in the ring. So everything's kind of focused. It's kind of the athlete's mind. And it takes, that's the hardest part, really, is making yourself marketable.
I'm sure.
And trying to, make it doesn't matter whether people love you or hate you.
Yeah.
But they have to do one or the other.
They have to.
They have to be invested in one.
If they're indifferent towards you, you don't have
you're not going to have a long career.
Yeah.
Yeah. They either want to pay money to see you kick someone's ass, or they want to pay money to see you get your ass kicked.
And it's fascinating how sometimes these guys are grinding it out 10 plus years, and all of a sudden a persona that just takes on, and people go like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then they respond to it, they connect to it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've had guys, that were kind of just middle of the road for most of their career, and then tap on something late.
Because who is it now that like blew up? And a few years ago, I don't think anyone knew.
Roman. Roman Reigns is probably the biggest faces, in
And it was around for a while.
Yeah, he'd been around a while, and you know, he obviously you look at him, he checks off all the boxes, right? I mean, he looks like a star. He's athletic.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a connection initially, and they were really trying to push him down, you know, the fans' throats.
Yeah.
And wrestling fans will reject. I mean,
They feel like you're putting them on.
yes, they will reject it in a heartbeat. And then, you know, I guess it was somewhere around COVID, man. He just really hit his stride and really became the face of the company for, you know, since then. And I mean, he's done really well, and now he's starting to transition into, you know, outside projects and acting and everything else.
It's pretty cool to see it happen, right? Like to see somebody. Like when I want to ask you this, when you are developing the Undertaker persona, I find a lot of times that like ideas, like this is an idea that clearly I'll say, you know, worked out. Like this is one of the most successful, one of the most successful personas in the history of the sport. But a lot of times when like, you know, like if I'm writing something that eventually works out, there's a phase where you have doubt, where you're like, is this fucking stupid? You know, like when kind of, you know, kicking this idea around with other people at the company, is part of you also like, what? Like an Undertaker? What?
Yeah. So when I came up, so basically there was WCW, another company, and there was WWE or WWF at the time. And at that time, like they had all these just over the top characters. Right. I mean, it was the show was kind of designed for a younger audience.
Yeah.
And everybody was this outlandish character. And I'm, you know, I'm a traditionalist, right?
Yeah.
So I always liked the product at WCW better. It was more traditional, serious wrestling. And I got an opportunity there, and basically was told, hey, you're a great athlete, but you're never gonna draw money. I'm like, wow, okay, that's you know, that's a big sandwich to have to eat. Right, face to face with somebody just told you that, you know, you're a great athlete, but nobody's ever going to pay money to watch you wrestle. So now, you know, now I have the other product, and I go have a meeting with Vince McMahon, and, you know, he wasn't that thoroughly impressed either. I guess it was my personality. Like he looked at the wrestling, he's just a big, you know, just a big guy. Yeah. You know, but it was my meeting with him that even got a second look. And then I get a call one day, and he came up with the whole character, which was based on, the Undertaker was based on an old Western style Undertaker. You know, the two guys in Main Street, they go have the gunfight, and one loses, the guy comes out, starts measuring for the pine box. That was the original concept. And, you know, I get a phone call one day. It's Vince. Yeah. And he goes, is this the Undertaker? I'm like, Undertaker? What is the Under, you know? Yeah. And there was another kind of another thing going on their show at the time, where they had this giant egg, and I just knew, like, I knew that was going to be me. I was going to be Eggman or some stupid shit like that. And I almost would give myself So this all happened around the same time that I debuted. The same
Mark,
night.
you like eggs, right?
I love eggs, but I didn't want to come out of the egg. Let me look what comes out of the egg there, right?
I know, bro.
I mean, that's, you know, this is what I'm at home. And then I finally get the call, and he said, you know, asking me if it's the Undertaker. And I'm still trying, like, this sounds like Vince McMahon, but is it really Vince? I mean, I've only met him once. Yeah. Right? And I'm like, Undertaker's not chicken, man. Like, hell yeah, this is the Undertaker, right? Yeah. He's like, great, goddamn, can you be here tomorrow? And I'm like, Stamford, Connecticut. I'm like, yeah, I can be there, right? I'm so green and know so little about the world at this point. Like, I hang up with him, and I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to get there? Yeah, right? Because I got no money. I'm broke, and finally somebody obviously calls me back and sets up travel, but. anyway, he brings me up to the office and has these storyboards laid out and with the, with the images of the Undertaker. And I'm just like, oh, this is really cool.
So you do dig it, like when you first.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Once I saw it,
Yeah.
and then he kind of gave me an idea of what he was looking for, and then he kind of handed it over to me and said, okay, now
Make it yours.
make it yours. So now I'm invested in. I'm watching all of Friday the 13th movies,
Yeah.
and the Halloweens, and all these things, and I'm trying to take little bits of all of them and incorporate them and make them my own. And but yeah, it was a little strange at first, because
Yeah.
you're right. You don't want something to be. I mean, that really has the potential to be really corny, and I was just really. I think it was so different at the time that it resonated somehow with people. And then that character, an Undertaker, somehow or another become beloved
Yeah.
in a very short amount of time. Like, people were just enamored by this character,
Yeah.
and there's nothing about it that is, where everything is baby faces and heels. There's nothing baby faced about that. And
No.
by the time that I wrestled Hogan in '91, like, when we come out, I remember that was in Detroit as well. And we came out, and it was like obviously Hogan was the good guy.
Yeah.
And it was like 60-40. The crowd was in favor of me.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, that Hulk Hogan, that's
yeah.
I mean,
Is
he's
that
the name.
surreal, like, for you to, like, I wanted to do this, you see that, like, hey, maybe I have potential. Now you're doing it, and now, like,
Yeah.
is that pretty much when you realize, oh, I'm like, this is as I'm here.
Yeah, that night was that night was really surreal, and a real full circle moment of like, wow, because it had only been, I don't know, 4 years or so.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
It happened really fast for me.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. It seemed like going through it. It seemed like it was forever, because I'd been to, I had to go to South Africa, and I stayed in South Africa for 4 months, and Japan, and all these places, and WCW. But the whole process to get to that point, was not that long a time.
This is the best vodka in the world. You're talking to a man who's put 10,000 hours into a couple things: eating pussy and drinking vodka. I'll bring my wife in if you want. I'm pretty good at the first one too. But this is better than pussy. This is the best vodka you're ever going to have. It's clean. My sleep scores through the roof because of it. It tastes clean. Everyone I've given it to loves this vodka. Tom, tell them.
It's absolutely fantastic. We have a proprietary distillation process. And listen, we are winning competitions. We have gold medals in various competitions. And honestly, you, the people, are the ones telling us how great it is too. This is not just smoke that we're blowing here. We're telling you because you're telling us this is now your favorite vodka. So thank you. And if you haven't tried Porosos, get out to the store. If they don't carry it, tell them you want them to carry it.
Tell them, request it. When you go to the bar, you say, hey, do you carry Porosos? And if they say no, you go, you should. It's pretty freaking awesome.
And then walk out.
You know what I do? I go, do you carry Porosos? And they say no. I bring out a bottle and I give it to them. I go, now you do. Can I get a bottle, a glass of Porosos?
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's and also, it wasn't, not only did that happen fast, but the staying power of the Undertaker. It wasn't like, and now it's gone. Like, like the Undertaker, this is like iconic household. Like, I remember talking to my wife about wrestling, and she was like, she goes, yeah, I don't know. Literally, she goes, I don't know anything about wrestling. I go, nothing. She goes, I mean, I know like the Undertaker. It's one of those things where, like, even somebody
you might want to look into her past.
I don't know. She dated some pretty interesting types. But the fact that I'm saying, like, it's like one of those things where somebody goes, I don't know anything about this industry. Right. Oh yeah, I know. It's like somebody going, I don't know movie directors. I know Steven Spielberg. Like,
right.
They just know a reference.
Right.
But that's that's the Undertaker. Like,
I've been incredibly blessed to stay relevant for such a long period of time, and a lot of that is kind of reinventing myself too along the way. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times what happens is people get and I tell people, the young guys, when I talk to them all the time, I was like, man, you can never be content in this business because there's so much content being produced.
Yeah.
You burn out so fast. Right.
And you learned that? Like you just figured that out?
Yeah. I wish I could say that I was like really smart, but it was just kind of an intuitive thing. Like I'm starting to feel like a certain way doing this, right? Like it's like, okay, it's kind of getting to be like making the donuts, right? Every morning. So if I'm feeling like this, my audience has got to be feeling a certain way as well. So that was one of the things that I think gave me such longevity, was being able to stay true to the character for the most part, but evolving it and moving it along. And,
what would that look like to you? What would evolving mean
I mean,
to you?
it started out simply by just changing colors. Like, there's nothing fancy about The Undertaker, but the original look was, the long coat, the hat, everything was gray and white, and just changing it to purple.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of years later, changing some of the look and adding different, move sets and just trying different, different
Can I
things.
ask you, because it's one of the things that stands out when you look at these, like, is it challenging at all, difficult to wrestle with gloves on?
Those gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, those gloves, because they when you sweat, they get wet, and they start to roll down, and they want to come off.
And you're grabbing your opponent. Like,
Yeah. So eventually, I moved to an MMA glove, which you can strap them down, and I think I think my opponents appreciated those too, because there was a little bit more padding in them.
Yeah.
On those days that I got a little too close.
Yeah. Now, what like the one of the things too is, like, I think you don't really appreciate certain sports if you don't see it live. Like the live experience changes everything. And that's one of the things I told people when I went to see a Monday Night Raw thing. I was like, man, this is the energy and the show, the spectacle that is the night. It is so much different in person. Like, you really get an appreciation for it. One of the things you see so much better too is just how physical things are.
Yeah.
How injured have you been doing this?
Well, how long we got? I can run them down. I mean, just long-term damage. I've had both knees replaced at this point, partial hip replacements. That's just from the wear and tear.
Sure.
So, but like acute injuries, I've blown out both eye sockets. I've had orbital blowout fractures in both eyes. I've been set on fire.
Most people don't list that in their injuries.
Yeah. Actually, I've been set on fire twice. Torn muscles, concussions, numerous lacerations, broken bones.
And in a match, your adrenaline just kind of carries you through it.
Yeah, that's one of the great areas how we've evolved to where the product is now. Now we have doctors ringside, we have trainers, we have. I mean, it's treated just like any other major league sporting event. I mean, the athletes are very well taken care of now.
Yeah,
not so much. In the 90s and before. Yeah. I mean, if somebody in the locker room had a roll of tape, I mean, that was
a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So, and we just had that mentality. If you can figure out how to get to the ring, you go to the ring.
Yeah.
And if you get hurt during the match, you do the best you can to figure out a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
It was just the mentality. Whereas now, if someone gets busted open, you'll notice that a lot of times they will cut away. Doctor will come in, put I don't know, what do they use? Like the nitro, whatever they can to stop the cut.
Stop it,
yeah. And if they can't stop it, then they'll stop the match now.
Really, they protect the athlete a little more.
Yeah, protect the athlete, and obviously we don't advocate having the blood and guts that we used to either.
Sure,
it's for the old school purist, it's like but it's just it's where the product is evolved. But back to the original question, I've had 18 surgeries. to replace and to fix wrestling related injuries. Yeah.
And do you? I mean, do you live with pain? Like, is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't, I try not to complain about it because I know, I knew the whole time that eventually
Yeah, something's gonna.
you're going to get to that point. I mean, you don't play the game that hard and not have residual
Sure.
effects.
But I'll say this: you look great, and you move around really well, and yeah,
Smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah.
Smoke and mirrors. Yeah, that's kind of key too. Once it's all over, I was never really like a body guy, right? I never like really cashed in on what I looked like physically.
yeah,
I kept myself in physically good shape, and that becomes really important once you retire,
yeah,
because that's when you're like, I don't have to do this anymore now.
Yeah.
And that's when guys blow up and they stop moving, and then that's just all those years come
crashing down.
Yeah,
on
they come
you.
crashing down on you hard. So I do twice the workouts for half the results, but it keeps me moving.
Yeah, well, that's great that you're still because
Yeah.
I mean that day you were working out when I went to your place, and you're like,
Yeah.
I still train all the time, and
Yeah, and it's just, it just kind of, it keeps me, it keeps my mind going as well. Like, although I know I'm not going to get back in the ring and have a match,
Yeah.
but it's just part of
it's
it.
better. It's better for
Yeah, it's better
upstairs.
for my mind.
For sure.
Yeah, and you never know, like, when they're going to call you to, like I couldn't have a match anymore, but I can come in there and punch somebody in the face or,
Yeah, sure.
or choke slam them or something. And you definitely don't want to look like, a pile of crap when you,
No.
yeah, so
Yeah. Do you enjoy your role with like the wrestling world today? I mean, you're obviously like this iconic figure, and you're still
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, I'm able now to obviously have a little more personality, and not be so deadpan with the character. So that's fun. I think sometimes because I think sometimes I get a little overexposed for not being able to go actually and have a match. It just becomes difficult. Like, you'll get your naysayers like, oh, well, you got the old man out there doing stuff, It's like, well, there must be a reason if they keep asking, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I like my role. I get to, for years I didn't interact at all with the fans, and so now I'll do signings every once in a while. I don't do a lot of them, but I do enough to get out there. I go and I do my one dead man show, which is kind of that's a really cool experience for a wrestling fan and an Undertaker fan, because you actually get to hear a lot of the stories of even things that I don't say on the podcast or on someone else's podcast, like in the one dead man, because we take the phones and we don't allow recording, so you really get a uncensored.
That's rad for a fan. Yeah, it's so
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll get my true opinions on the state of the business.
All right, let's
and
turn
the
these cameras
company.
off. Let's have this fucking conversation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is a really cool experience, I think, for Undertaker fans, but wrestling fans in general.
Do you, by the way, do you like the like acting? Is that something that you have fun with? Or, like,
I was so like, it paid off, I guess. But like, I really never, once I started being the Undertaker, everything was focused around that character.
yeah.
I always wanted people like, I knew they did. I knew they knew, like, well, he's not really dead.
Yeah.
Right. But I wanted people to, when they saw me, even in public, I wanted people to always go like, no, I ain't fucking with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's something different.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do a lot of media, and I didn't do a lot of, I didn't do a lot of interactions, and I lived, people talk about it all the time, like, how did you live that character?
Yeah.
Like now I've got yellow tennis shoes on and jeans. Like, if you saw me, I didn't have my wrestling gear on, but if you saw me in the airport, there'd be no doubt who that was. I was always dressed in black.
Yeah. You were keeping it going.
I kept it going, and I lived it.
Yeah.
But
But this is what also, I mean, to be like totally transparent, this is what great actors do when they are committed to a character. A lot, a lot of them do the method approach, and they live in the costume or whatever it is, and they just go, I'm just going to be this character, even offset, and it just helps them, commit to that character. I mean, it's a similar thing.
Yeah, and that's the way I approached it. Because I didn't want, because the character is so unique and so different. Like I just, in my mind, I didn't want people like to see that on TV and like, oh, that's death.
Yeah.
And then, see me somewhere out in public with a Hawaiian shirt on. And
yeah.
a fedora with a, it's just like,
Undertaker's bullshit.
Yeah, he's bullshit.
Yeah.
And,
but that shows a level of care about the fan experience, which is cool. Like I just saw this clip. I don't know if you saw it where, I think, what's his name? Is it Tarico? Interviewing Michael Jordan. I don't know if you saw this clip that went viral, and he goes, it just popped up like a few days ago, and he goes, come on, like when was the last time you picked up a basketball? He was like years, and he's like, no, but like when was the last time? And he goes, it was the Ryder Cup, and I was renting a house, like obviously a nice house from somebody to stay there, and the owner said, there was going to stop by and do photos like with Mike. And he goes, I met everybody, and I did the photos. And then the owner of the house was like, hey, I just want you to shoot like one free throw. And so Mike says, he goes, this is the most nervous I've been in years. And he goes, come on. He goes, no, because he had his grandkids there. So I know that those kids have heard the stories of 30 years ago. And he goes, I have never been so nervous. And then the guy interviewing him was like, you swish it? And he goes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. It's Jordan.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He goes, and that set me off. But it was, the parallel to me is that like, you care about the fan experience. You care what they, like, you don't want someone to see you out there with the fucking straw hat on going, somebody, they're like, that's not the Undertaker.
That sucks.
That would suck.
And I still get it. People are so invested in that character. I get it now.
Really?
Like, I prefer it when Undertaker didn't talk. Or
You're like,
okay, or if I'm doing something like I've done, like I do TV shows or anything like that, it's just like, that's not my Undertaker.
Wow.
I mean, but
that's the level of commitment to it.
Yeah. Kids, like I've been around for so long that people that come to see me as kids now have their own kids.
Sure.
And it's kind of and
they're telling their kids, this guy's going to scare the shit out of you. Okay?
Right. It's like, what's he doing with the Hawaiian shirt on again? What the hell is that?
Now, I want to ask you, because one of the things that it's like your sport is just full of freaks, like athletic freaks, specimens. You see these guys and you're like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know this kind of human existed. And in all your wrestling and all the matches, like I talked to Cody Rhodes about this. I was like, I know obviously there's a lot of big, strong guys, but like what was like Mark Henry like? And he was like, bro, like he was so much stronger than anyone has ever put their hands on me. Do you have like people who you think about, like you're obviously a big, strong guy, but people you stepped in the ring with and you're like, holy shit, like this person.
Yeah, there's guys that are just absolute beast. Brock Lesnar for one, like, and especially in his first run, like, so Brock's what, 6'3", 6'4". He was about 290, 295 in his first run before he went to UFC. And you look at somebody like that, and there's just like, there's no way he can be as fast as he is.
Yeah.
Right. It's just your eyes and your brain can't comprehend
someone this big moving like
that.
Yeah.
And he was just a freak of an athlete. And then strength wise, you can guys like Mark Henry or Kane. Kane was so freaking strong. It's just, you're like, dang, because again, you think, I'm a pretty strong guy. I can move a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
And then you feel somebody grab, when somebody grabs you and it's just like, oh, yeah,
This is different.
This
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah.
Big Show was like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some guys in wrestling and in this era too. Now we got guys like Braun Breaker, who is a phenomenal athlete, and I think they clocked him, I don't know, 22, 23 miles an hour. It's ridiculous. And he's 240 pounds. That's
Running 22, 23 miles an hour.
something to that effect. I could be off on that number, but if you see him move,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, he's a second generation. He's second generation wrestler. His dad
23
is,
miles an hour, bro. He
Yeah.
ran a 4.540. This guy's 250. Jesus.
That's ISO speed there.
Yeah.
He just about decleated him.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks like it. I don't know if he's selling that or that's
No,
just
he
real
had no
life.
choice. He
He's
had
like,
no choice. He hit him.
Holy shit.
Look at this.
He's like, I can do a flip.
Watch this.
Oh yeah, he felt
That's
that
not a
shit.
wrestler, so he doesn't
No.
even have any clue how to protect himself.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit amped up at that. Braun is right there.
Yeah, you can see that.
He's a little amped.
Oh man. Right now he's above like, what am I doing with my life? I shouldn't have done this. This was a bad idea. Shit.
That's just one human being catching another human being and
my
tossing him
God.
around. There are some true freaks in the wrestling
Yeah,
world.
no.
Yeah.
And again, I'm reiterating this point. It's one thing you see it on video, you're like, God damn, but in person,
it's crazy.
everything registers so different.
Yeah.
Speed does, power does. Yeah, the whole spectacle of it it lands so differently.
That's what I always tell people. Like, a lot of people have preconceived ideas about what wrestling is and what it isn't, and that's usually what I say. Just go to a, and not necessarily like just a live event, but a televised live event.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's where you get all the bells and the whistles, and everybody's a little bit more amped up. And
Well, the show itself, but also because you can't like describe the effect of a hype crowd like without feeling it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I could tell you, oh, it's really when you're in there and it like you feel like you're in the Roman Colosseum. People are, and also when they're when they hate somebody, you're like, oh, and then it becomes fun. You're like, yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah, dude.
You don't
Yeah,
even know
you're
who
gonna
you're
get your
yelling
ass
at.
kicked.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really exciting.
it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah,
And
I felt like that. I mean, first time I went to UFC, it's like I knew what UFC was, and I was like, yeah, I've seen who doesn't like a good fight, but being in the arena for the fights,
especially a big.
oh
like
yeah,
a big fight.
it hits
Yeah.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really does. Do you look back on your career, which is obviously like this crazy legendary career? Are you most fond of a certain match? Like, do you look back and go like, this is the one?
So the match I'm probably, man, as far as a wrestling purist kind of matches, would have to be WrestleMania 25.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. That was as close to perfect that I ever got, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just one of those things when you're in the moment.
Look at that crowd.
Yeah, that was at Reliant Stadium in Houston.
You're super lean here, right?
Yeah. I was, well, I'm about 305 there.
305?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And then obviously Shawn is probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest in-ring talent ever. We're both in this particular, we're both in our 40s.
Wow.
This is both late in both of our careers, but so we had this one 25. We came back, ran it back in WrestleMania 26, where it was his career against the Streak, which at that point was like my selling point. At that was the WrestleMania undefeated streak, and then went from these two matches to 2 matches in a row with Triple H, which is, Shawn and Triple H are really close.
Yeah.
It was like a 4-year story that happened. But yeah, WrestleMania 25 is in my opinion, it was we were able to not only be athletic and show all that, but the story that we were able to tell. And that's what wrestling is about. It's about the story.
Wrestling is a soap opera with violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's the hard part a lot of times for guys to understand and to really grasp that concept is, it's about the wrestling, but really what it is the storytelling. And we use the wrestling to help tell the story.
Yeah.
Right. And this was about as close to, again, perfect on all fronts. And I mean, to have these people emotionally connected, I mean, look at the size discrepancy, and they all think that there's a chance that I'm losing for the first time at WrestleMania in this match.
Yeah, which is like, you want them to go through that emotional ride.
Yeah. That's the whole deal.
Yeah, like, fuck, he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
How much, by the way, in these matches, whether it's WrestleMania or a standard weekly match, how much chatter is there to each other that, like,
while it's going on?
Yeah.
And that sometimes it depends. Like, what was really cool about this is we were well into our careers.
Yeah.
We're on the backside of our careers, actually.
And you're vets and you know what you're doing, but
yeah. Well, even though, sometimes when you're a vet and you do have a really long and storied legacy, like the young guys sometimes come in and they're scared to death. Right. So a lot of times you have to talk and calm them down, and because they want to go, right? They get this opportunity to be in this match. They want to go.
chill.
Sometimes you just got, take a breath here.
And is that in the ring too? You're like,
Yeah, you sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you get popped and you're like, okay, you got one coming.
okay.
Just so you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you too.
You know, there's a fair amount of, each guy's different, but there's a fair amount of shit talking.
Yeah.
There's, this is what I'm about to do kind of deal.
Uh-huh. If something like an unexpected, like, oh shit, my ribs, my arm, or something, like, will you be like,
if you're able to,
Yeah.
okay, I need to, or, you'll maybe you say, hey, throw me out of the ring, and just give me a second. I broke a rib or something.
Yeah.
It's just something to create enough time to assess what the damage is and whether or not you're going to be able to finish, or you're going to have to ad lib the finish because of something, because of the injury, or
Is there a wrestler you hated wrestling?
That list is about as long as the list of my surgeries.
It's pretty long.
No, there's, early on in my career, like I had every big guy that was out there.
Yeah.
I got them.
Uh-huh.
Right. And not all of them were real
Gentlemen?
Well, not only not real gentlemen, but they were limited in what they could do.
Right.
And so you end up, a lot of times you got to try and make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's just some certain people you vibe with and people you don't vibe with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, back to Shawn Michaels, like he could have a 5-star match with a broomstick. I mean, that's just how good he was.
Right.
So when you get guys like that are that accomplished can
you tell, like, what makes Shawn so incredible, like so great?
He just an exceptional talent.
Yeah.
I mean, he loved the business. He was a phenomenal athlete. He had this incredible personality. He would make you. He's that guy. Look at him. I mean, you want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Right. Especially in the early part of his career. Like, he was just like, I want to beat the shit out of this dude.
Yeah.
And as hard as I tried, I could never quite get to him enough. He always got away, from the real beating until we had a match called, Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And, again, well, he even got out of that because I'm about ready to beat the snot out of him for 30 minutes. And that was the debut of Kane. Again, great storytelling. But, he was just, man, he had it all. He was good on the mic. His character was good. And for a smaller guy, when for me in a wrestling match, it always broke down. Like you can do all the wrestling and everything. It always at some point breaks down to where it's just dukes, right? It's just a fight. And not everybody had that. They didn't have that edge. He did. Like he could do everything. He was ahead of his time with his in-work ability. But when it came down to even if it came down to just the fight, he was believable. And I mean, he's recognized as one of the greats, but I don't think really people really understand how good he was. He runs one of our shows, our NXT program. He's ahead of all of our new talent coming up.
So he's like, is that like when, like, so the new guys, like they all go to like camp and
they go through, they have to go through a selection process to even start to be trained. And then they graduate from there. Then they go to our NXT program, which is one of our TV shows. It's for our young talent.
Sure.
And he's the, he runs all of that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So we got, I mean, the future's in really good hands.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have someone really legendary to look up to, which has got to be.
And not only does not only does he have the talent, like he's done everything there is to do in the ring, but he's had his ups and his downs too, like his real life.
Yeah.
So he can relate. People, oh, you don't know what I'm going through.
He's like, yeah, I do.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do.
I've been there.
Yeah. So it's
Are there wrestlers too? Because I mean, you find this in every major sport. I'm assuming there's just guys, maybe less today than back in the day, that would just try to hurt people in the ring.
Yeah, there were. Not if they thought they could make money with you.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But there were a lot of liberties taken with, like, we used to, before we started doing Raw, Monday Night Raw and everything, we would tape our regular weekly TV shows. And usually you didn't get like marquee matchups. You would get, say, so you'd get Undertaker from Joe Smith from Allentown, Pennsylvania, right? Just some local kid that's trying to get a break. You go in there, you run through all your signature moves, and you crush them in about 3 minutes, and that's all you got. So, but there were guys back in the day that had no regard for those guys' safety.
Oh, right. So
yeah,
they're
they're just like a piece of meat. So, and there's just certain guys work different ways too. Like there's certain guys that just like, I'm going to hit you really hard and tell you sorry later.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just how I operate. Yeah.
And as long as, like, I didn't really have a problem with that as long as they didn't bitch when it came back.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're going to clean my clock and then bitch about it when I throw a receipt back at you. That's when you're going to have a problem. But if that's the way you can hit me hard. Don't hit me hard in the nose or in the face somewhere where
Sure.
you're going to have. But if you that's the way you want to work, we can work. We call it working snug. If you want to work snug, I can work snug. Just don't bitch when it comes back.
Yeah.
And but everyone I think today is they're a lot more professional and on the same page.
Well, it just evolved so much, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the training for a new person is so much better today. Like how this operates.
Oh man,
how to take
process,
bumps and
the process is crazy.
Yeah,
like I started in a guy's backyard, trying to dodge piles of dog crap.
Sure.
To now where you have to go through. They go through. I mean, we send people to the combine now, the NFL combine, these conference combine. We go out and actively recruit to try and find the absolute best athletes.
Yeah.
That are out there, which is, you'd think, oh, well, that's great.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they have absolutely zero knowledge of professional wrestling.
Sure. So you're taking someone from step one.
Yeah. And that's a much more difficult process. you have such a better understanding if you're a fan of the product
Yeah.
than somebody who's never been a fan of it, like, because they're just thinking like, well, I'm gonna turn it up all the way and let's go, and like, whoa.
Well, it really evolved. Yeah, it's like it's almost like I don't know if you've seen like some of the big high school locker or gyms these days. You're like, this looks like an NFL locker room. Like I remember my high school gym didn't look shit like this. Like this is crazy.
It's
facilities.
Yeah.
You know, it's a facility.
Yeah.
Now you have been obviously immensely successful in this. So let's have a fun chat. What's the stupidest shit you ever bought once you started making money?
What's the stupidest shit?
Yeah. Everyone's got some stupid purchases.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, I do. I'm trying to think. I bought. I remember like it wasn't stupid, but it was like I've loved motorcycles for a greater part of my life, and like when I finally got out of debt, which was probably 2 years into my WWE run, I finally bought my first new motorcycle. I didn't even, in my house that I had didn't have a garage, so I had to open up the double doors and park it right inside the. There was like a stone foyer that I parked my Harley
pretty cool.
in.
But that's your preferred mode of transportation, though, motorcycles, right?
It used to be. Now I don't move well enough. Like my neck and everything doesn't move well enough. And people on their phones and shit, I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah.
I still love to ride, but I don't ride like I used to.
Yeah.
But I've gone through all the silly shit, the boats and the jet skis and the went through all the cars. Now, I rolled up in my old F Ford, my 250 today.
I know. I felt like I was parking next to a man. I knew it was you. I just pulled up in my little bitch-ass sports car, and I was like, that's got to be him.
No, man, it's what... What else would a redneck from Texas be driving,
man.
right?
Yeah. Nothing better, though. Honestly, like, I'll go a pretty long period of time without it, and then I get into a truck, and I'm like, this is just like, sitting up there, the view. It becomes addictive.
I'll tell you a funny story though about that, because it's got a 4-inch lift on it, and it's got big 38-inch tires on it. It's again, I love sitting up there and being able to see everything. So a couple weeks ago, I'm at Whole Foods. I went to buy some steaks. Right, I was going to grill some steaks, and I'm parked. I backed into a spot at Whole Foods, and got stopped a couple times in the store. So now I'm a little bit late.
Yeah.
So I get in, throw the steaks in the car, in the truck, and I jump in, and I pull out, right? So the truck is so high that I didn't see the car next to me. I ran right over the front. Ran right over the front end of this car. My back wheels ran right over the hood.
You leave a note?
No, I did. I was like, oh, you gotta be shitting me here, man. I can't.
Please tell me it was a fan. They're like, no, it's cool, dude.
Unbelievably, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
They're like, this is one of the greatest days of my life, man.
Oh,
I need a new car, but this is cool.
We got a new car out of it. But it was. I just ran over it. Yeah, I just ran over the front.
That's hilarious, man.
I couldn't see it at all.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
It's a big ass truck.
And I wasn't, obviously I wasn't paying probably as much attention as I should, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it because it was lower, like a Mazda.
Yeah.
That he had lowered too.
Oh, it's like you both went in opposite
Those back
direction.
wheels ran right over. Just.
He's like, no fucking way. You ruined my car? Cool.
Yeah. What the hell? Oh, yeah, okay. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
But yeah. But so, you got to be careful.
That's cool.
In your redneck mobiles.
You've hung out, by the way, with Mike Tyson a few times, right? Mm-hmm. I have too.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most memorable experiences that I've had, I don't know if it's the same to you, where I was just like, the first time, every time I just ran into him again, but every time you're just kind of like, this is crazy. Like, just thinking about watching him fight. Like, was it different? Because you were coming from being another athlete, so I think it's different for you. But is it
still
surreal?
Mike Tyson,
it's still, it is, right?
Yeah. If you were
Alive,
involved in boxing in the time that Mike had his run,
yeah.
There was no one bigger than Tyson.
Yeah, it was like,
and there was nothing. That was probably one of the hardest tickets to get on his title runs, and He back. I'm trying to think what year it was, but he came on our show and did he did some stuff with us, and it's pretty cool, man.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was cool for us to see how big a wrestling fan Mike Tyson is.
Yeah.
Right. Because you forget people are fans of
what you do,
yeah. Right, and you just don't look at it like that. Like, oh shit, that's Mike Tyson, and he's looking back. Oh shit, that's Stone Cold, or that's that's the Undertaker, and but yeah. So always, I tell you what, man, he's always been like a gentleman, just like he's like a little kid when he's around wrestling though.
Really?
And the
he
shit
lights
that
up.
And the shit that he knows, it blew me away, man. Like I did his podcast a couple years ago, and once I adjusted to the smoke level.
Yes, a lot of smoke. Right?
A lot of smoke.
Yeah.
Right. Once I adjusted to that, like we'd be talking about something, and then I think he's about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, man, he just rattles off, what happened with Bruno Sammartino back in the thing when he fought and I'm like, where the hell did all that come from?
Yeah.
But you could tell, like, he is a genuine fan of the product. And
I feel like if I was a wrestler and they're like, all right, and then Mike's gonna hit you, I'd be like, hey, let's kind of walk through this a few times.
Or I only want to do that once.
Like, like we're gonna sell it, right, dude?
Yeah.
Like, chill out. Don't get too excited. Like, I talked to somebody, I think it was Zach, about The Hangover, because he punches him in that, and they were like, all right, let's get Stunt over here, talk about how we pretend to punch somebody, because like you just don't want him to have the itch.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't want any flashbacks right now.
No, dude. Like, even like I saw him, what it was, a month ago, and you're still like, yeah. I mean the width is still there. The way he walks, you're like, yeah, you still have torque in those hips.
Yeah, you don't. You don't lose that power.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the reflexes and the speed and some of that goes away, but the power is
still there, dude.
Yeah, and you talking about it's one thing hitting another boxer, but hitting someone outside of that is just I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, dude, this is a real treat. Thank you for coming in today.
It's been a pleasure, man. I can't believe we live in the same town.
I know.
And it's taken this long to.
And I'll say this: I told everybody this when I met you, and it'll be a huge disappointment to people that still wish the Undertaker was the Undertaker at all times. But you're such a genuine, authentic, nice man. It's like well, thank you. You're a real pleasure to be around. So,
well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, as seriously as I take what I did and what I do, I don't take myself as serious.
You can tell.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm in a great place. I feel like I've been incredibly blessed and get to do things like this. And
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's work out sometime.
Dude.
I want to come back to the gym.
Yeah, come on back, man.
Let's do it.
I got some more equipment over there now.
Oh, I want to try some new shit.
I got it all, brother.
Don't forget, Wrestlemania 42 takes place April 18th and April 19th, 2026 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and tickets are available right now. I'm telling you, if you've never seen this stuff live, there's nothing like it. Make it a trip. It's Vegas. Go have some fun, gamble, dance, listen to music, get ripped, and watch Wrestlemania. And huge thanks again to The Undertaker. Mark, thank you so much for coming in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call Two Bears, One Cave.